just the one for me. Ever since then, we been vibing on some chemistry. It's just a matter of time. I know she feeling my vibe. I got the keys to her ride. She put her hands on my thigh. She got that look in her eye. SL what I'm riding. Royalty, call me highness. All day and overnighted. Cause it's crunch time when I'm grinding. This Adderall got me nauseous. Proceed with caution. Tired of lanes, I'm exhausted. Poppin' Zanny Zan, sipping out the faucet. I'm confused, don't know what I'm doing. Wait, what I'm doing? Got me going where the f I'm going. Out of space where I'm going. Wait, where I'm going? Wait, where I'm going? Out of space where I'm going. Out of space where I'm going. I'll be up in the way. 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 Running on my face. Guilty on my face. I'll be up in the way. 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 Can I talk to you? I've been working hard. I've been up all night. I just been so high. I feel nothing off the sands. Withdrawals killing me. I need something to sleep. Need you on top of me. I need to get high. Dreams designer all night. Chanel should be haunting my dreams. Wearing my clear on my sleeve. I'm not who you need me to be. Indigo sound for the team. Royalty sound for the team. Hippie vibing for the team. I need space, girl. I need to get out, yeah. Slow my motions, leaning. I've been out, yeah. Never worry about me. I've been chilling. Can't do this no more. I'm in my feeling. Can't put your business all out in the open. Can't fix a heart that's already been broken. You changed my ways, I'm already hopeless. I take my time, I figure it out, girl. You know you are. I'll be up in the way. 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 Running on my face. Guilty on my face. I'll be up in the way. 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 I'll be up in the way.
Whatever happened to the times when we cared for one another? We shared the same respect. What is happening? We're trading what's important for shiny things. I can't allow this blasphemy. It's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Don't lose yourself, stay on track. Baby, you're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. Full of the things that we've overcome. Full of unspoken battles we've won. You're so much better than that. Sometimes the truth ain't always catchy as rap. Stop chasing cheese or you get stuck in a trap. Go get your crown and never render it back. No, it's blasphemy. Why would you treat yourself like that? Stop all that blasphemy. We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. You're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. Believe that. You're way too gifted to stop and listen. It's condescending, not to mention all of our ignorance. Is there permission to? I know you like to turn up like that. With a drink to pull up like that. Well, baby, there ain't nothing
you ain't know, you ain't heard it before. That spirit you take for granted is the God of your soul. It's a price that you owe, it can never be owned. So for this valued dollar, it can never be sold. We were kings and queens in the motherland. Problem is we shouldn't have spared the rod or the father's hand. Yo, where the fathers at? Kids raising kids, so basically they never really raised but more assisted. Thrown to the system for criminal definition instead of dreaming for better and taking care of your business. I promise, we've been gods from the crib. Thing is, you can call a king a slave if he don't know who he is. Man, it's blasphemy.
Why would you treat yourself like that? Stop all that blasphemy. We didn't come this far just to fall right back. Baby, you're a god. You're a god. You're a god. You're a god. Baby, you're a god. You're a god.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Welcome to the Artist Exchange radio show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I am your host, Nate Couser, and we have a couple great guests with us today. But before I go any further, please get your tickets to Pearly. They're sponsoring us this month. Pearly, the 50th anniversary of it, written by Ozzie Davis, directed by Troy Burton, starring me. Just a little bitty star. And it runs from this Friday, February the 14th, Valentine's Day, to March the 1st. That's a Sunday. And we have two shows on Saturday from 3 p.m. One starting at 3 p.m., the second one at 8 p.m. Sunday, the show starts at 4 p.m. And Friday, 8 p.m. sharp. Doors open an hour before. Please get there. Get your tickets this Friday. We'll have Melba Moore herself in the building. She'll be doing a little meet and greet before. There'll be a reception before and after the show. Some vittles, some nice, great treats from Next Phase Cafe, actually. So come on out. And we'll be honoring Melba Moore with a special gift at the end, and award. So please come on out. Shout out to the Arena Players, the oldest continuously operating community theater in the United States, actually. So come on out and join in the history for our 64th year in operation. But without further ado, we have a couple great guests here. And I'm going to start over here to my left, because she's the boss lady amongst everybody. So I'll let her introduce herself, and then we can go right on around, introduce these other guests.
I am Angela Marshall, aka known as A. Michele.
Boss lady.
So what else you would like me to talk about?
Owner and operator.
Okay.
Management, talent scout.
Okay.
She's so modest.
Thank you all. It's just a pleasure to be here, Nate. I thank you for another opportunity even to be sharing some time with you,
Anytime.
let alone sharing time here on the air with myself and my artists, and I appreciate it. I am radio owner of Worldwide Flavor Network, as well as I am a artist manager, and so I manage wonderful talent here in Baltimore. I can only tell you what I know. This is some excellent talent, and if you don't know them, you need to get to know them. I am so honored that God blessed me with some great artists, and they range from jazz and R&B and hip hop. So gospel hip hop, and they are the bomb. So if you like hip hop, you may want to go back and tune in to Team Maranatha's work, as well as our jazz R&B artists / gospel artists too. We have Steph Singz, she's not originally from Baltimore though. She's originally from Philly, so but she has grassroots here in Baltimore. So we are just so honored to be able to manage this team right here. It's been truly a pleasure.
So we can go right around. Stephanie.
All right, so I am Steph Singz, and you guys probably saw quite a few videos. I keep putting them up there. My manager, boss lady, says, you need more content. So you have me singing on my Facebook page and doing different things with interviews. Basically, it's an honor and a privilege to be connected with such phenomenal people. The industry is a very interesting place to navigate, but I'm confident that with what we're doing, you're going to hear more from us and you're going to absolutely enjoy what you hear. So I'm Steph Singz. It's me, I'm Steph, and I just sing.
Your boy Johnny Flames from Team Maranatha. We're a gospel hip hop group from the DC area, but we formed and met up in Baltimore. We're doing our thing here in Bmore. Want to thank Michele for taking the time to invest in us and carry us to the next level of our journey. We have a dynamic range of songs, anything from inspirational and discernment to partying like a Christian, to however you want to carry it in the hip hop world. Look at Team Maranatha and make your judgment from there.
Okay, so we're going to jump right in it. You all represent different parts of the music industry. What made you decide to push on? Because I know being an artist isn't easy in today's world. Everybody's independent. Everybody's trying to get the bag. But why are you in it? Either one of you.
Ladies first.
Ladies first. I'm in it because I was born to do it. And it's in my blood. Every time I try to do something different, it doesn't work. So I was a singer, then I became a wife and a mother. I'm a wife and a mother and a singer, then I became a doctor. And I'm a wife, a mother, singer, doctor, then an author of books. But at the end of the day, my love always brings me back to my foundation. And the foundation is music, and I can't stop singing, so I might as well just do it until I can't do it no more. You know, it's like, you got the pipes, you might as well use them. To God be the glory, and He will decide where it goes from there.
There we go.
Yeah.
What type of doctor are you?
A doctor of naturopathy.
Okay,
I'm a naturopathic doctor. Natural medicine.
Okay.
You
That's
got
awesome.
it.
I'm an artist. I see colors. I'm not good with words. I know colors.
I got it.
So, and you, sir, Mr. Flame?
I guess my journey would be similar, where you notice that you're born with the gift. And for years, I did it in the secular world, and I did it for the world. I was incarcerated, and during my incarceration, I had a couple of brothers just beating me down. Come to God.
Not physically, though.
No, not physically.
Christians can be a little.
Come on, Nate, now. Come on.
I'm a Christian. I understand.
But now the brothers, you know what? Honestly, that's what it took to bring me home. And it was such an interesting journey, because it was crazy. The moment that I accepted was the moment that I realized that God had given me a gift, and that I had been using that gift against Him, you know, as opposed to for Him.
Abusing the gift.
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. And once I came to that realization that I've been hurting God, I'm like, wow. I took the same time, the same energy, the same effort, the same talent, the same skill, which all belonged to Him, and I returned it to Him.
Was that difficult?
No, the transition was so easy and so smooth, it was crazy.
Stop fighting.
Yeah, no doubt.
Surrender.
Amen. That's a great word. That's a great, and
That's a
challenge that
great
word.
song.
Amen.
She has a song called Surrender on her album, so that's like one of my favorites.
Okay.
That was one of my favorites right there.
But it's so interesting that the minute that you realize that when you surrender to God, you know, that you're just opening up the doors, you know, to your next journey. You know? And it was a wonderful experience.
Did the talent change? Did the creativity change? Okay.
Oh, actually, and the thirst has increased. I mean, we can't stop writing. We can't stop just putting together project after project. And it's just so, you know, it's just so, again, I know you probably going to hear this word several times during this interview, but amazing. Because even though now I'm used to it, it's still amazing. You know, one, that God chose me. You know, and then two, the amount of energy, effort, and talent that He poured into me, you know, it's just incredible, you know, to realize that.
What part of D.C. did you grow up in?
Southeast D.C.
Southeast?
Yes, born and raised.
So how did that environment kind of foster that creativity?
Well, I came up in the time of, you know, I say my late teens, say from 17 to 30 was that 85, and you know, era when DC was the murder capital of the world. So, and I lived in the hood, right in the middle of that environment. And it really shaped me because I had a friend of mine, we got together a couple of days ago, actually at our CD release party. And we were talking about, you know, between the both of us on both hands, we can't remember, you know, all the guys we grew up with. You know, we were,
Because they probably not here.
they're not. But the interesting thing is we used to call ourselves the blessed ones. I'm sorry, the lucky ones. But now we realize that we're the blessed ones. So,
Go ahead.
no, I don't want to take up Steph's time, but it's just,
Amazing.
Amazing. Awesome.
yeah, amazing. And it was difficult as far as the journey, but the transition was easy.
That's good.
So we're going to come from D.C. and we're going to go up the road to Philly. What part of Philly are you from?
Germantown.
Okay.
Germantown, Mount Airy.
The
Born
new
and raised.
Germantown.
Yeah, I guess it is new. Went to Temple University.
Okay.
And Philly has been my foundation for music. You know, we have that Philly sound. It's nothing like the Philly sound. Not saying it's better, but it's just nothing like the
describe
Philly sound. The Philly sound is soulful.
Okay.
The Philly sound is invigorating in terms of it's powerful. So when you hear artists from Philly, they have a lot of energy and a lot of passion. So therefore, you can't be a wimpy singer coming from Philly.
And it has such a mixture and a blend of many different places because it's kind of situated right in between, like the Maryland and Virginia and the New York.
And then you have New York up atop, yeah.
Does that add to the flavor of Philly?
I would say, and this is my humble opinion, the flavor of Philly to me is, I always say I'm a Philly girl with a northern girl with southern roots, because I find that most people that live in Philly have come from down south. And so they're bringing that kind of energy, and then it's kind of muted with that brotherly love, because we do have it. You know, don't let the hype fool you.
Well, it's
full of
a
lot
find,
of love.
but it's definitely
Yeah.
there.
It's there. It's there. And especially coming from Philly, when I go home, I feel it. And so I could just be in my environment, and anywhere I go in Philly, I feel at home.
And how did that kind of shape your sound? How did that shape your individual sound?
It shaped my sound because I grew up listening to Philly music. So Teddy Pendergrass, Patti LaBelle, Jill Scott, that's the whole story. Phyllis Hyman. So I grew up listening to that, and that sort of those big sounds, and so that kind of permeated into my psyche. So even though I have a squeaky speaking voice, my sound vocally is powerful. And I think I just got that because it was my socialization of hearing it, and maybe that's what brought the gift to the surface, because I heard music all the time.
So you named 3 powerhouses, but who are those artists that kind of added to your ear?
Oh, definitely Phyllis Hyman. Definitely. Angela Bofield. She's not from Philly, but she's with Jean Carn.
Okay.
Jill Scott, obviously, because she's, you know, newcomer on the scene in reference to the music that was expanded back in the late 70s. But those are those sounds. Roberta Flack, because my mom was a soulful, and we did housework to music. Turned the music up real loud, and that's how you knew it's time to get busy cleaning. You hear some bacon cooking, you saw somebody stirring some grits, but you also had that, all right, come on, who got the bathroom? Who got the, and that became like the mantra for life. Music never turned off in my house. If music wasn't on, something was wrong. Something was wrong. He was like, there's no music, what's happening? Is everybody all right?
I'm in trouble.
Who in trouble? You know? Because that was the energy that permeated through the house.
So you speak about coming and going in the music industry. What was the thing that always brought you back?
The secret desire to sing, but having other people say, girl, how come you not singing? It was that. And so I was thinking, well, I became, and it was like, so what? You have a voice. And so I started thinking that because I felt, sometimes the music industry can make you feel defeated, right? Would you agree? As a whole. And so when you can't reach a goal, then you reach for something else, right? And so I reached for motherhood and marriage.
Okay.
You know, I reach for education, the stability of it. But it still is like in a still small voice. And then you can't help to sing in a shower and go, dang, I sound good though. Right? Or you go someplace and, you know, you're in church and you're singing under your breath and you go, you know, Sister Stephanie, she could really sing. And you go, no, I'm not going to. Because you feel like it's not going to go anywhere. So why do I? But you do it for the glory of God regardless.
And that was, it won't go anywhere.
Exactly. And that has been the turning pivotal point for me. Because now to me, it doesn't matter what I believe, but I believe that if God gave me the vision, he will give me provision. And he gave me the gift. And he said, use it. Watch what I do when you start opening your mouth. And so I started, yeah. So I started singing everywhere I go.
Was it easier or harder to come back each time?
This time was really easy.
Okay.
It was really easy because I didn't put any of the pieces together. They fell into place. I had a producer to call me and he was like, I have these tracks and I don't want anybody to sing on them but you, so what you gonna do? And I'm like, but then a couple of months prior, people were going, you should really, you know, do another album. I'm like, I don't have any resources to do an album. I don't set a budget for that's not even on my radar. I'm writing books right now. Exactly, exactly. But then I got the call and it was like, I have these tracks and just turning one song and doing it to a degree where the producer's like, oh, okay, I think we have something. Let's try another one. I'm like, okay. We tried 3. Before we know it, we had 15. And he was like, so what are you going to call this project? And then all of a sudden, it just started expanding. It started expanding beyond my wildest. Yesterday, I had a presentation at a church, One God, One Thought. It's in Randallstown. And I could not believe
like a non-denominational.
Yeah, I spoke as Dr. Stephanie, but prior to that, I sang. To usher in the Holy Spirit, I sang Emotions. Okay. And when we were finished, I had my table set up. I was really humbled and amazed to see 30 people in line to get my stuff. Wow. I have no more music left. Awesome. And no more books left. And I'm thinking,
now you have resources.
Now I have resources.
Awesome.
So in terms of, I'll go back over to you, sir. In terms of the business side of it, are you savvy on that side as well as the creative? And you can answer that as well.
Actually, yes and no. Yes, where I understand the principles and business is business. But no, not the nuances. And that's where Angela came in.
Is that technology and social media?
Exactly. And even the deeper roots of getting everything cleared before you can release it, and making sure that this sample is okay. Going through that stuff. All of that part is new to me because once God ordained us to do this, our goal was just record.
That's the artist.
Yes, we have so much music to release for the Lord. It's amazing. So even though we missed out on say the substance of, like you said, the business side of that, God put Angela in our path, who's a master of that. So we were faithful and did our job. What he asked us to do, which was preach my word. We did that. And then he left it to Angela to expose that word to the world. So God, he's always just God in our life, be it business, personal, whatever.
But are you still learning that other side?
Daily.
Not to say she go swindle, but we still have to learn as artists at the same time.
But Nate, what I do is, and they can tell you, I'm very cautious of what we do. Regardless that they leave me in charge of making decisions, I clear everything with them. We making decisions together, whether it's a good, they want to or they don't. If they're asking my advice, what you think we should do it, we shouldn't do it, I'm making sure they know I'm not spending their money on my time. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not just spending their money just because I'm in charge. Right. No. This is what the options are. Let's look at this. Let's review. Let's make decisions. And I think this is good, or I think maybe we might want to sit back on this. Those type of things. So I keep them in the loop because the reason I wanted to get into management was watching back in the day. So many of our actresses and artists getting in trouble between, taxes and all kinds of stuff, not making right decisions. Those were the reasons that I wanted to do it. My first degree was in business management. Well, my AA degree, and then I finally went back and said, okay, I really want to focus on the management piece of just in general. And then I went back and, learned those tools of being a manager and what it requires in management and how to deal with the whole piece. Because regardless of what your management is in, you learn the tools and the trade as it relates to each industry. So I've had multiple careers. Anybody that know me, I've had multiple careers. So therefore, with me having multiple careers, I've had in multiple businesses. So the management piece and styles have changed tremendously for each one. But I've been fortunate and I've been truly blessed. I can only thank God for the artists that I have now, because they're all open. They all want to succeed. They're not self-sabotage as of right now. I can truly say they are not self-sabotaging themselves. And that's something that I've seen happen, that artists self-sabotage themselves or have them in such negative environments that they end up sabotaging themselves.
Well, many of the problems come because we didn't have those skill sets to begin with. I didn't have good credit before. I didn't have XYZ established. And you may have been a working person, but we didn't have that skill set to know how to multiply our money and let our money work for us. We're going to take a quick commercial break, pay some bills, get your tickets to Pearly for this weekend. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. My tiredness is proof of it. So please come on out. Again, we're going to be right back. Go to the Artist Exchange Radio Show page, like us, tag us, subscribe to us, all those good things, and we'll be back with these awesome, phenomenal artists when we return. Don't go anywhere. The Artist Exchange Radio Show only on BeExposedRadio.com.
White keys only have this bitch jumping.
Okay. If I sit around, hold up. Look. If I sit around, hold up. Yeah. Rebel rap. If I sit around, I'ma smoke some more. Wasn't even thinking about smoke before, but I'm in my head, I'm in the bed. Don't know who I am, like I'm wearing a mask. Working mode, tell him where the cash. If you wear the cash, tell him where the cash. If you playing for you, gon' run it back. Don't make promises, but I promise that. Don't promise me, cause I ain't into that. Fell in love with that and got hurt from that. That was all over and the curtains back. Can't see you not noticing that. I'm letting it go, it ain't holding me back. Yeah, I'm on dice, but ain't come for the crap. Drinking with uncle, we only do jack. How I'm alive, I thank God for that. Praying about it, things getting better. Open it up with my name on the letter. Why you crazy about it? Saying whatever, you shy to be you. You know you gotta be you. Sometimes I need privacy too. Yeah, you know I ride. You know I ride, and you know you ride for me too. Yeah, you know I. Look, you like getting that hit for real. When it's me and Murray, just us, we chill. I'm in a rush to get off to get you. Never ever had to floss to get you. Pay the dues that it cost to kiss you. Rug burns on the carpet with you. Oh yeah. Come on, dog, throw this in there. Had to dedicate this to the homie out of New Orleans. Break. Said she wanna bump that. You wanna do it? Go ahead, do it.
Thank you very much.
Because they had nothing else to do.
So it was like, imagine that your late husband was actually your father. I can't imagine that because that's disgusting.
Very much so.
And then I would have to clean my basement because that's where my actual father resides right now. So, okay. The 60-year-old woman learned the truth about her husband, Percy, 6 years after he passed away.
Not Percy, though. Percy doesn't sound like that name.
Percy just sounds like a feminine boy.
Really?
Yeah.
But nobody told you at no point.
Like Percy, man. Look at Percy over there with his purse.
Oh, his name first.
Percy always switching.
And you just keep laughing at him.
That's a joke. What do you call it? What's the gay boy's name?
Percy.
Percy.
What you doing, Percy? I don't even know what to say about this one. And I'm the one that said it. Oh my gosh, we're here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. The conversations can get deep. They can get out of this world, but we do them. BeExposedRadio.com. Talk Lately, the radio show.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. If you want to be a guest, hit us up, the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com, or you can go to our website, www.theartist-exchange.com, and tell us you want to be a guest, and you can be on here just like these awesome individuals right now. So I'm going to go back to Ms. Steph. In terms of your music, you have a lot of music that can be in either gospel or even R&B, jazz. Why haven't you chosen, or do you feel the need to choose a side?
I don't feel the need to choose a side because I sing from my heart, and it's up to the audience to decide where it fits. I haven't labeled myself, but I understand that I have to put myself in a genre for listeners to be able to say, because I listen to this genre of music, I can listen to Steph Singz. Now, I wouldn't fit in a rock or a country category.
You never know.
But
so you try
it.
So. You might, Steph. You never know. I don't know.
But
that's the origins of
jazz
and
I
R&B.
sing from my heart, and it just. So this is how it works. You give me music, and if I can vibe with it, my hand will start writing and a song will materialize. Because I write my own music. So it depends on what I'm hearing. Right. And so if the beat some of my beats are actually trap beats.
Oh, okay.
Right? I didn't know what trap music was. It was just what the producer was like, this is a trap beat, see what you can do. I'm like, oh, okay. And I wrote this, he's like, how did you do that? I'm like, I don't know. So I don't even really allow myself to be stuck in what music is supposed to be. I just hear it, I sing it, and if everybody goes, it's a rap, I'm like, okay, we made another song.
Has that made it difficult for you? Because we're in an industry now that tries to narrow your reach to kind of make more money in a lane versus try to diversify yourself?
I don't believe so, because now R&B is not traditional R&B. R&B is a mixture of R&B with rap. It's a mixture of pop. So I don't think there really is a true genre anymore as it was back in the day. Like we can firmly plant Teddy Pendergrass in R&B. We can firmly plant any other group back in the day, but in a category. But our society has changed so much. There's so many blurred lines that nothing really fits. It's just if it resonates with you. And I always use the example of Jill. I love Jill Scott. She's like, I just got so much love for her. And the reason is because I know Erykah Badu started the movement of neo soul, but nobody knew what neo soul was until they heard it.
Well, again, neo soul was a way of the industry and radio
trying to create a genre, trying to narrow it in.
Because they didn't know where to put them.
But the people liked it anyway. And they didn't know what it was called, they just liked it. When I first heard that neo soul, I was like, yes, that's my vibe.
Because it wasn't really R&B, it wasn't really soul, but it just had that vibe in it. And the point of my question was because they put, especially black artists, we are narrowed in a field where we can actually excel in, but other races of people are able to be more diverse and have a more broad audience that they are marketed to. Would you try to go mainstream in terms of the big machine behind you, or do you like being independent?
It's up to God.
Okay.
Because I don't want my talent or my gift to be exploited. And so if I can control where it goes, because I'm not driven by the fame or the stuff that could be the trappings of it, I just do it because I have a love for it, then I'll let God lead, and then it'll unfold the way it's supposed to. Because I think when we put a lot of emphasis on what we want to see happen, then you get disappointed when it doesn't happen. You get discouraged that it didn't happen, and then you lose focus on why it was happening in the first place. Right? If it's happening because God says at this point in time, this is what I have for you to do, whether it's singing gospel, R&B, spiritual, whatever it is, then he's going to do it. And I think the key to that is to remain humble and submissive.
Understood.
Right? Because we have to listen to our still small voice to allow the Spirit to lead. And then when you do it that way, it's not as sticky. It's not as convoluted. It's just kind of like, okay.
Right.
And the proof of that is I didn't have this on my radar. This time last year, I didn't say, I'm going to have an album and I'm going to be, no, it wasn't even on my radar. But somebody called me this time last year and was like, look, I have these tracks. Can you, and he was like, okay, well, this is good music. What do you want to do with it? I'm like, I have no idea. And it's all just starting to open up. But I heard the call. I heard the call.
Understood.
Right? I heard the call. And it's like, girl, you better sing, okay. And I'm going to give you the music. I'm going to go, okay.
Amen.
And I'm going to give you a manager, okay. Right? It all just started unfolding. I didn't search for any of these things that are happening to me right now.
You didn't have to be a specific place or do certain things.
It wasn't on my bucket list. It wasn't even a goal of the top 10.
And I think that's normally where artists find themselves the best. When we've kind of like, you know what, forget it. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And we just let time and whatever that magical, mystical power is, guide us versus trying to control it.
Yeah.
So, in terms of being in the hip hop side of music, on the Christian side of it, do you feel a tear or a pull to kind of try to keep up with the other side of the music versus trying to do your thing?
No, and the reason that we don't, because I've partnered with Team Maranatha. He just couldn't make it today. The reason that we don't feel that way is because God has ordained us, to do something, and He's put us on a path to do it. And then it's sort of like we've witnessed, for lack of a better term, the fruits of our labors. We've done several gospel events, but then we've also done several secular events as well. And the result has always been an overwhelming thumbs up, like, wow. You guys are technically sound, your production is awesome. As Angela likes to stress, y'all remember y'all lyrics. When we get on stage, it's a performance, but it's a performance through the power of the Holy Spirit. We're not just entertainers; we're ordained to entertain you, and it's all in an effort to bring the Word of God to you. So the only struggle I'd say that we've run into is maybe on a couple of instances acceptance. From the old
in the church environment, in the old school church environment.
Old school church, but it's no.
But that sector is much smaller than what it used to be, because I think artists like Kirk Franklin and the Murray sisters have kicked that door down. So there's no more. Sister Mary, but Beatrice wants us to do it this way. But then everybody starts, but people are starting to turn around to it. Now the door is more acceptable. There's a whole other field for artists like yourself that want to still keep the sound, but the message is changed. So now people are forced to listen to the message versus the beat.
Amen. And as an entertainer and as well as just a listener and appreciator of music, that 9 times out of 10 it's the music that sways us first. You get around to the lyrics, but 9 times out of 10 it's the captivating music. It's the melody, it's the flow, and then you realize later on, oh, they said what? Oh, they said okay, and you start getting it, and that's it's refreshing. The way that we found that out, especially in live performances, like the whole crowd will be jumping and everything, and then you'll see one head go like, did they say Jesus? And then when we're saying it again and again, then people start to know.
That was what Shackles, the first time I was in a secular club, and you hear Shackles on the right, and you like, wait a minute. And then you are forced to listen to it now versus just bopping to it.
Exactly.
Is that your vision for your music?
Yes, because we consider ourselves the antidote. We consider the hip hop industry poison, right now. Look at, and it's easy. It's so easy to just listen to the messages that's being preached and beat into our, and I won't even say the youth, but beat into our minds. Whoever listens to that music, and the people that listen to it on a regular basis. I don't care if it's quote unquote mumble rap, if it's old school hip hop, if it's West Coast. I could care if it's conscious. I don't care what it is. That same message is being beat into your head, time and time again, time and time again. The same images, are being forced upon you, and so it's hard. We look at the results of that. Open up your window and look outside. Turn on the news. Look at that. Pick up your phone and look at the messages that have come across your phone. It's always terror, or terrible, terrible, terrible. News that's being broadcast to you, and we consider ourselves a change to that. We're gonna just try to implement, and we know we won't change it, but we can begin a change.
But it's a problem, and I'm hearing what you're saying. But I teach children. So I've taught music several times,
right.
And part of what I'm realizing now is, as people who want the change, we are doing the same thing that has been done to our community in terms of we're listening to the messenger. We're watching, we're seeing what they look like, and we're not realizing that there's a message in what they're saying. If you're hearing terror, that's because the problem is still out there.
Without a doubt.
And it's not necessarily coming from the messenger. But it's definitely still an issue out there. Do you feel, what do you think you can help with in terms of your artistry and your message and your evangelism in helping to kind of not curb that or get rid of it, but really help individuals versus just eliminate the music or the message that they're bringing?
To show you that there's another option. Because like I said, everything's the same. This message, image, and everything that's being beaten to you is crafted carefully, and it's being just forced upon you. So since that's the agenda of certain masses that want us to remain in bondage and slavery, and I don't even mean African Americans, I mean the world as a whole. I mean the human race, to remain in bondage. Something needs to be done about that, and God has His way. And you notice often throughout history, throughout the Bible, it's a song that changes things. It's a word that inspires someone to change things. And God said that during the last days He'll hear a new song. We just thank Him that He chose us to be part of the body of Christ that brings forth that new song to the world. We know, we don't plan on, we don't hope or anything. We know that we're part of the message that'll spring this change in people.
Is that and I'll come back over to you, Steph. In terms of the content that you write yourself, what's the conscious decision that you make in terms of what you put out there versus what that's not going to be what I want to talk about?
I made a conscious decision to speak lyrics of truth based on allowing people to express themselves authentically. So, to piggyback off of what you said, right now our music is artificially imposing sentiments that might not be ours and they're not universal. Right?
Yep.
And so my universal thought is connect with yourself, love yourself, understand who you are in relationship to yourself and to other people. So my music, my project is called Fluid Emotions, and as a doctor of natural medicine, I know that a lot of people are not well because of emotional bondage. And so I sing about that, to those types of things. And so my music is more vibe music. You sit down and go, whoa, that's deep. But the beat is good and it sucks you in. It's kind of like a cool, chill vibe kind of music. And so the takeaway for listeners to listen to me is, if you want to kind of be in a reflective mood, to get to the basics of life, to understand that you can grieve, you can be sad, you can surrender, you can be happy, you can fall in love, you can be afraid of love, you can discover who you are, but you got to sit quiet to do it. And listening to good, chill music is a way to do that. And that's my platform of just bringing people back to themselves. Because if you find who you are, God is there.
What's your process for writing?
Well, I shared a little bit. The setup is I just have to hear music.
Okay.
And if you say, Steph, I need a song about X, and you give me a beat, if I get what I call a divine download, then I'll have a song in 5 minutes. Amen. That's just how it happens. But when I try to sit down and write a song, I can't. I just have to be inspired to do it.
Yes.
And if I hear something, I go, oh, I feel that. I feel it right here. I've heard instrumental tracks that made me cry. And I'm like, yeah, I can write to that. And that's how Soldier Love came about. That instrumental track of Soldier Love with the choir in the background, the Oz, I boo-hooed for like 2 days. And then the producer said the concept of this song is to give people some sort of connecting point to deal with their grief, because there's so much death in Baltimore. I just lost my friend. Can you deliver this kind of message? And I couldn't do it at first because I wasn't able to connect with the grief that I was dealing with the loss of my sister, because my sister had just passed from breast cancer, and she's 15 years younger than me. So that was very hard. And so in order for me to write that song, I had to tap into my own grief. And then I was able to produce it. And it's that song or songs like that that I write that other people can be delivered from these emotions that are authentic, as opposed to the emotions that are superimposed on us that we really don't feel. Like, I don't feel, you know, Victoria's Secret doesn't make me feel sexy, right? But that's the agenda, right? If you see this, if you wear this, you'll feel sexy. Well, no, that's not real. But we're real people and we're feeling real feelings.
That's what happens when you take it off.
Exactly.
Wow.
Right. So I'm connecting with the authentic aspect of the human condition.
Do you, either of you feel, and please chime in, do you feel that artists can be artists without the pain, without the struggle? And I say that I just read an interview with Mary J. Blige, and one of her, she doesn't want to be considered the queen of soul because that puts her into a box of always singing sad songs, always being hurt. And she said her life started to reflect her music. And she said she couldn't get out of her life cycle because her music was keeping her in it. Do you feel like artists can be artists without the pain or the struggle? We can tap into it, but do I have to wear it like a coat? Do I have to walk around with it?
I feel as though you asked two questions. Can an artist, all right, I don't feel as though an artist can be a truly deep artist without experience. Now, someone can write something for you from their experience, and they can relate to you, you know, the grief, the trauma, the joy, you know, whatever went into the making of this song that you're supposed to relay on this track. But it's like Steph said, it's way different when you experience it yourself. And the problem is what you said. It wasn't a problem with what you said, but the problem that artists run into is that when you say, like, when the way Mary felt is about being a soul artist and being, you know, locked into this box or whatever. No offense to her or anyone else, but it seems to me from what she said that her box, considering soul, was depression. Soul music doesn't have to be depressing. Because the soul is so deep and so encompassing. There's oh my goodness, there's such a huge realm, you know, for you to explore when it comes to the soul.
Right.
You know, joy, purity, power, you know, uplifting, uprising, you know, all of these things are soulful, all of these things are powerful. So those are things that I would not only love to portray in my music, that I would love to portray in my life. So I wouldn't mind being caught up in that. But again, it depends on my humble opinion, the artist and their definition, their personal definition of what they're being considered as.
And for her, she did, like, her last couple albums, she said she traveled to London and made one, and she, you know, again, she was back in a divorce state, where she was breaking up, but she said she wanted to just explore more of what her talent was. But people define her as a queen of soul because hip-hop soul, because they wanted the sad Murray. They didn't want her to feel any of those other sides of soul music.
And again, I'm not disagreeing with you, but I'm actually totally agreeing with you. That's, okay, I guess when Murray was young, that's what she knew and that's what she good at. That's what she was good at. That's what she excelled at. You know, that pain, that trauma, you know, through all of the things that she had experienced in her life. And that's when she let loose. You know, the other things, you know, as far as the uplifting the party, like I said, that didn't come till later on. You know, but even in the midst of that, it was because of her naive. You know, she was naive. You know, as far as what life actually was. You know, and she wasn't the only one. We all are when we're young. We think that life is this or life is that, not knowing that life is this and that. You know, so when she has the opportunity, or when we have the opportunity to experience more and learn more and to delve more into certain realms, we learn to have that experience where we can express that and let that go a little more and a little easier. And once you become comfortable with it, that's when you can really, quote unquote, turn up. That's my partner's name in the group. That's when you can turn up, you know, your effort and your your song on mic, radio, whatever.
I agree. I think you need to have a level of experiences in order to deliver music that has the passion and the energy that you want to give to the listener so they can have feedback. And the feedback you want them to have is understanding what you're saying, having it resonate with them, the human condition, but also have a way for them to come out of it. We don't want to leave them there. We want to bring them out of it. So I had someone say to me, Steph, you have such a powerful voice. Your project is so mellow. And my thought was, because I was in a mellow mood at that moment and I just wanted to deliver, everything that I sing doesn't have to be belted like Stephanie Mills. I want to be able to just kind of flow sometimes and just impart a thought through song and music and let that kind of resonate. But if I'm screaming at you, you don't necessarily get it. You're not going to get it. So I have to kind of flow into it. And then maybe my next project, I'll be, you know, all the stuff that people know that my voice can do. But this project, to me, I just needed to flow. I just needed to be calm, and I wanted people to calm down with me.
Have you ever tried to do that in one album, like show those different ebbs and flows of your emotions, or have you ever been in that?
This current album is called Fluid Emotions, so every song is different.
Okay.
And the
Every
styles
single
are different,
style is, and the styles are different. So not 1-2 songs sound alike. So one day, one song I'm sassy. The other song I'm asking God for forgiveness. The other one I'm saying I'm surrendering to love, but I'm scared. Then I'm saying I'm 10 steps ahead of you, don't play. I mean, there's so many different emotions that I allow to come out and very different sounds in how I delivered those songs. So I didn't put myself in any box at this project. The song just came out and the producer was like, well, what do you want to call it? And I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, well, think about it. And I was thinking, and I said, you know what? Fluid Emotions, because this project is all over the place. But it fits.
Would that become your style? Because some artists are afraid to kind of give those different sides, and we now see artists that are saying, well, I'm going to do country this time, or I'm going to do rock, but they don't feel like they can meld those things because we want to hear one long track versus like hearing different songs or sides of an artist.
I'm not afraid to be me, and so I'm a very kind of, I'm juggling these balls, and so it's like, I feel like this moment, I feel like that. I mean, tomorrow I'll have on baseball cap and large hoop earrings with some Timberlands. You never know. So and that would be me too.
Okay.
So I'm not just one person. I allow my personality to kind of flourish and just kind of spill out and unfold, because guess what? I'm discovering me too, and I'm not going to bridle these discovery moments because somebody else says that I should look or do a certain way. Because I feel like this today. Let's see how that plays out.
Is that a conscious decision, or is that just who you are?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's always been me, but I've made a conscious decision to allow it to happen without apology.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm Steph, it's me, I just sing. Anything else, take it or leave it.
So in terms of you building, both of you building a career of this, how does your music or artistry affect your life? Not to say that it's not your life, but when you're at home watching the news or at work, how does your art influence your life, your regular life?
On a daily basis, it influences in a positive way, because this is the part of me that I thought that I had to let go of. And this was the most important part of me that I was willing to relinquish and be perpetually sad about, just being honest. I'm like, I ain't gonna do that music thing, man. I wish I could, you know? Now it's like, I got my music back, yes. So everything else seems sweeter because I didn't have to put something that I really, really love in the back burner and just be like resolved to not being happy or finding joy in that area.
How are you protecting the music now so it's not something that can just get away from you anymore?
I have the best husband on the planet.
Okay. Yay, husband.
Right? And he gives me the latitude and the space to do what I need to do. In the past, a lot of the reasons why I didn't do, because people were stifling me. I don't think you should do that. Who gonna watch your kids? And there was no support and saying, you know what, I believe in your gift. What is it that I need to do to support you in this? It was like, oh, you on your own.
So the trigger was met, but what about these three right here?
And those three are me.
Right.
Right.
So what did you do?
What did I
to
do?
keep it perpetuating those feelings and opinions out there?
I just wouldn't let them stop. I wouldn't let them get the best of me.
Okay.
And I just kept letting the ember burn. And when the opportunity came, I didn't let it pass by. You could pass up a blessing. Yeah. All your blessings are yours, but if you don't act, faith without works is dead. You can say, I know that this is my blessing, but if you don't do anything to go toward it, then, okay, well, that's a blessing deferred or never.
It's a sad place to be in when you are actively choosing to let your dream go.
Yeah, though that hurts. That's very painful to do. So yeah, I would say my family is very supportive now. And then the other thing, I've given myself permission because I've checked off the other things that is expected. The check-offs are, well, you got married, you had some kids, you went to college, you have a career. Now you can play and do music, because now people are like, oh, you can do whatever you want. But when I was not established and I didn't have anything to fall back on, it was kind of silly to other people. And then it felt silly to me because I'm thinking, I don't have all my ducks in a row. I'm talking about I want to go sing somewhere. Let me just sit myself down and go to school and get a job, right? And so that was one of the things, because I take music seriously, and as artists we do, but not everybody around us see the impact and the passion that we have for it. And it seems like a frivolous endeavor because people think, you ain't gonna really make it. It takes, you ain't gonna go nowhere with it. Why are you wasting your time? But they don't understand that it comes from a heart place.
No doubt.
Did it take you leaving, Germantown, Philly, for you to feel that?
No. When I left Germantown, Philly, I take music everywhere I go. It just never pans out the way I thought that I wanted to pan out. So now I don't have an expectation. I'm just enjoying the ride.
And I'm glad you said that, ma'am, because that's the one thing that makes anybody, whether you're an artist or a business owner or a bum on the street, expectations. When we have expectations, especially for others, it gets us in so much trouble because what I'm saying to you is, I want you to do what I want you to do, whether you know what I want you to do or not. And then you're sitting there trying to live up to expectations that don't fit you.
Right.
All because that person may be afraid to live their dream.
Exactly.
So I can't let you live your dream.
Exactly.
How is that going to make sense to my feelings?
Exactly.
So I'm going to keep keep discouraging you, or keep putting down the situation instead of like, okay, maybe if I just cheer her on. That's why I call myself a dream pusher, because regardless of where I'm at, I'm still trying to push for somebody else's dream and see them get to where, because I know the things that I desire, God will eventually do them. But I'm not going to tear them down and say, oh no, you shouldn't do that right now.
But see, and that's the difference between having people around you that are, and I don't need everybody around me that's in a successful, quote unquote, successful place, or being an artist, but I need people who are going after their dream.
Right.
And not somebody that's sitting waiting for a windfall or God to place a life in their lap, and they're not out there building it. And I'm going to ask you a similar question. Has it been difficult for you to, or is it difficult for you to imagine yourself successful?
No, because you really have to rein in or control your definition of success. What is success to you? Success to me is any opportunity that I get to preach the word of God and plant a seed. If one person showed up, I'm a success. If 1 million people are there, I'm a success. Now, I mean, of course, I don't tie that in with financial goals, which I believe is a whole different platform, as far as when it comes to my personal artistry. But success to me is defined on the opportunity to plant a seed into someone, to bring forth the name of Jesus Christ to them, to give them the opportunity to know of him, to learn of him, to love him. So that's my, no. I know not only will I obtain success, I've already become a success.
Okay. So what's your preparation process? I know you are in a team, but what's your preparation in terms of being a part of a team?
Yeah, I teach Bible study. I'm an ordained minister. Soon I'll be an ordained pastor. Opening up my own church as of May of this year. So I'm constantly in my word. I constantly study. And then I'm a guy, I love instrumentals. I'll just ride around the instrumentals. I have my headphones on, listening to instrumentals, so that those words, the words that I've soaked into me can just, return. They can regurgitate out of me, and I put that into my music and put that into the word, into the world, to give them the word of the Lord. One of the other interesting things is that my partner and I, we've never recorded together. We've never written a lyric together. We've never even discussed our lyrics. We hear a beat. We'll call one another. Be like, hey, listen to this. Cool. What's the topic? Matthew 24. Okay, I'll call you when I'm ready. You ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's show up at the studio. And then God has ordained it so much, whereas we'll be in the studio, one of us will be in the booth recording, and the other one will be standing outside of the booth smiling. And then when he goes in and records his lyrics, you'll understand why he was smiling, because his message is similar to yours. So it's just so much unity and confirmation as far as, the phrase or catechism with two or more gathered, that God is in your presence. We stand on that, and we succeed in that.
What's the maintenance on that relationship?
We're very low maintenance, very low maintenance. Give me a beat and a topic from the word of the Lord, and let's go forth. Nothing more than that. I mean, we're actually good friends, and we talk to one another, constantly on the phone. But he lives in one city, I live in another city, so we bump heads occasionally. So the maintenance is very low maintenance, but it's so fruitful and so rewarding. That is amazing.
Amazing. But in terms of your the business of what you being an artist can sometimes complicate things, because you're worrying about finances and you're worrying about building a legacy.
Right.
Y'all both got families. You both got responsibilities.
Right.
You're adults.
Right.
We're not 18, 19 no more. We're not just living in the wind.
Right.
But now the complication becomes business. We got to make sure we're doing this for the right reasons and for the success of it. So what goes into maintaining that relationship?
Angela.
Not letting it get it. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
Angela. She keeps us on point with that. One thing about us, we're not new to this. We didn't just start this yesterday. I've been actually rapping, recording since '85, not to date myself. But Clay and I have been doing this together for 7 years now.
Okay.
So we're so comfortable, and we understand, like, we have our own clothing line, we have our own production company and stuff like that. So the stuff that we do, we're comfortable, and we understand, and some of the nuances of that. And what we don't know, that's what we entrust Angela with.
Right.
And she's been wonderful.
So let's go pay some bills and be amazing at it. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
First they love you, then desert you. Leave with a plate full with no spoon. Ain't no space, I can't escape negativity. I got used to the taste. I've been bad, burned, then fucked over. But remain strong through the Passover. Kicking haters out of the way like masked over. Roll up, sip something, let it pass over. Who would I be? It ain't the man to me that let the next man take advantage of me. When that storm come, no pan I see. Get with it, not without it, then you'll see. I beat the haters, they know I'm greater. That's why they buzzing for the elevator. But I can't save you, it'll be too loud. On the pedal stool, don't carry favors. Always got your hand out demanding favors. When I just looked out, now you need more paper. I can't breathe, give me 3 feet. I never let y'all be the death of me. When my patience run thin, yeah, nigga OT. Cause they wanna see me down like I'm NCT. 6 words, get the fuck away from me. See, I help you out if you can help yourself. I keep it G till I DIE. Now excuse me while I get back to PC. HOP ain't used to sleep while your third eye always on me. I'm steady green just to feed the team. My boo, she know that I'm king with chasing my dream. These niggas it seems I rip them, trash them, then put on new jeans. Man, see the problem is, man, I keep it 100, man. Yeah, man, like if I got it, then you got it. Yeah, man, but if I don't got it, then I'ma give it. You feel me? But I definitely got you through the ride, man. Let's get it, yo.
I'm really getting tired of ungrateful ass niggas. They really about to turn me to a hateful ass nigga. Like I was never there when you never had figures. Pull triggers for you niggas when you caught up in the trenches. Man, I really don't get it. I don't know what's going on, but I really don't feel it. Niggas really know that I've been there from the beginning, but the more I see niggas sides.
You're like an internal bleeder. Can't see your pain, but it can silently kill ya. So deeply wounded, but don't say a thing. Too afraid of what the people may say or think. So you just sit there and you suffer in silence. Your pride won't let you just uncover your secret.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live. And I have these awesome, phenomenal artists. Can we go back around one time and give out some social media so people know where to send those checks to?
I know that's right. I know that's right.
So, what you say?
Team Maranatha, everything. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The only thing is Instagram is team_.
Right.
Maranatha. But everywhere, Team Maranatha. And make checks payable to me. No, all the information is on there for you to. If you are, feel that you have the urge to sponsor us, give us a shout.
There we go. Donations don't hurt.
Oh yeah, so donations can also come to Instagram. I am _Steph Singz, and Stephanie Singz everywhere else. You can find me with a Z. Yeah. Stephanie Singz or Steph Singz with a Z. You'll find me.
Understood.
And you can reach Michele on Facebook as Angela Michele with one L, because you will not find me with two, but Michele with one L. That's Angela Michele, Michele. And then on Instagram, you can find Angela Michele as well as Michele, as well as you can go through Worldwide Flavor Network. You can always reach me through there. So I'm not hard to find at all.
Thursdays and Sundays.
Oh, my show is the Baltimore Flavor Gospel Show on Sundays from 10 to 12 noon, and then we have Hot Topics Live, and that's my little edgy show. So you might get any subject topic, any kind of conversation on there, and that's going to be on Thursdays from 7 until 9. Tune in this week. We're going to talk about relationship talk this week, because we got that little Cupid thing coming up called Valentine's Day.
Right. Are you all prepared for Valentine's Day?
So, here's the thing. I was born 12:01 midnight on Valentine's Day.
Oh, wow.
Because of that, I get a birthday, and at 12:01 without fail, Valentine's Day starts for me. So, I get like a double whammy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm prepared.
Okay.
Every day is Valentine's Day to me.
So I asked that question because as artists, we often have to choose. I've missed funerals and family reunions and birthdays. Have you had to face that, or do you have a hard stop, like family time is family time and work is work?
I don't have a hard stop.
Okay.
And I don't have one. I just be like, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, and everybody back up.
Okay.
Because I love what I do so much, I try to incorporate it in everything that I do.
Okay.
So if I'm Dr. Stephanie at a particular moment, I'm also Steph Singz because I'm going to sing as Dr. Stephanie. And then if I'm Steph Singz, people might ask me questions regarding who Dr. Stephanie. So, Doc, what do I do for this? And I'm like, here we go. So I'm never off, and everything is always intertwined. Right. And then when I get like overwhelmed, I go, you know what? It's time for me to just step back and take a break. And I do it that way.
At one point will Steph Singz kind of overshadow everything else?
Oh, that's happening. It's starting to overlap now because I actually was doing some other pursuits, and I realized that singing is more important to me, and it gives me being Dr. Steph requires that I give a lot. Being Steph Singz allows me to get it back.
Okay.
and I get it back from the feedback of my listeners, and they go, that worked for me. What you said really made a difference for me. And then I feel like I'm getting the reciprocation of it. Whereas Dr. Stephanie, I just feel like I'm constantly giving. If I'm sick, I still got to give. If I'm not feeling good, patients still, it's just too much.
So, but you will keep like a balance of it.
Yeah, I keep a balance, and so any of my patients out there, I'm not retiring no time soon. Yeah. But I do see that I get more joy, or the joy that comes from a place where I need it now is from my singing.
Because you're still giving
Yeah.
with the singing.
Yeah, I'm
somebody's
still giving.
receiving that message.
Somebody's receiving a message.
And you, sir?
Yeah.
No.
You too, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty flexible and pretty open because I believe that all right, take for instance today. Usually I don't work Mondays because I teach Bible study from 6:30 to 8:30.
Won't he do it?
Amen.
Yeah, ours is right now too.
I talked to the class and they were like, are you kidding? Go do that. What can we do to support that?
Tune in.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, right.
Not only am I a pastor, but I'm a chef. So I see.
Okay.
So
Next time.
So
you gotta give me all their talent.
Okay.
So I'm constantly
Yours.
in the kitchen working, but no, because I believe that the mission that we're on is so important, and then we're so tuned in, and so I mean it's good. It's actually become fun. Who wants to cut off the fun?
Right.
Who wants to? This is actually fun. It's like it brings a smile to your face. It brings joy. It makes you light. It takes some of the burden and the heaviness of life off of you when I do this. So no, we don't. As of today, no, I don't have any hard boundaries or lines that I've set. No. Call me and I'll come.
And that makes it so much more enjoyable to wake up every morning knowing you're doing things that you want to do,
right?
And not just punching into a clock because you got to pay a bill.
Right.
The bills are important because we don't nobody wants to be homeless. That's not cute.
Right.
But it makes it much more fulfilling. And I go to bed often exhausted, but it's an exhaustion where I fulfill things that I wanted to fulfill.
Right.
And most people don't really realize artists have that continuously. Now we fight it sometimes because we want to be fly, we want to keep up with the Joneses as normal people do. But it's something fulfilling about going to bed knowing that you just spent your whole day working for you versus making somebody else a vacation prosperous and beautiful. What is success to either of you? And I want you to answer that as well. How do you define success?
I'll go first. Well, earlier, I tied in with what I said earlier. Success to me is the opportunity to give God's word to anyone who needs to hear it. So anytime we get the opportunity, be it this platform, be it a live show, be it in a studio recording, be it just ministering to someone through Bible study or on the street, any opportunity to plant a seed in someone, to spread the word of the Lord, that's success to me.
So give me a word now, sir. Let me hear some of that talent now. I asked them. I didn't tell them when. I just.
Amen. All right. They don't listen to the flow. They don't hear your man. Everything that they knowing is lies of Satan. Games being played with your lives to bring doom. Disasters approaching. He's coming soon. Flame gave you the forecast, so you are prepared for the wrath of the prince of the powers of the air. Yeah, beware him. His time is short. His term is deadly. His furious high court. Supreme councils, all seeing eye. In God I trust, but no God am I. I'm just flames. A servant of the Messiah, y'all natives. Similar to the Mayans, dead. We are prophets, all we know is death. We the Baphomet killers, putting demons to rest. Big Coast Keisha and Ogun's here. Scatter in the dark as the light draws near. To live is Christ, to die is gain. You did it for the money, you allowed it for shame. But in the end, what did you gain? A little bit of nothing for a whole lot of shame. I am flames.
Okay. He got flow, and you got a hype man over there. In terms of keeping that going, I say you walk around with the beats on, and how do you cut that off at times?
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's like it's constantly being put in me, so I constantly need to get it out of me so that I'm not, overwhelmed by it.
Okay. Okay.
So I guess my way of stopping it is to produce it, in order that it's out of me. So I guess that would be my
Good answer, sir. Good answer, sir. And tell me, where do you see yourself in like the next 5 years and being this songbird? Where are you in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I see myself standing in front of a trophy case going, I got the Grammy.
Amen.
I see it. I have my acceptance speech. I know what gown I'm going to wear. It's all set in stone.
That's going to change by then.
But I'm telling you, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it don't.
I used to hear artists talk about once they got to that certain level, and I've had an acceptance speech in my head for years. I know who I'm gonna thank. I know who will stand up, please.
Yep.
You have it on your mind.
I've rehearsed it. I've rehearsed it. It's so rehearsed. I can see it when I close my eyes. This vision just comes right back. And the reason why that's so in my radar is because God showed it to me.
Yep.
And if he showed it to me, like I said, if he give you the vision, he will give you the provision, meaning the roadmap to get from here to what I see. And I'm so excited by what I see because prior to him showing it to me, I did not see it. I thought it was over. Vulnerability. Being vulnerable. Being an authentic artist requires vulnerability because you're trying to impart how authentic you are. And sometimes you don't even know who you are. But as you start to write music, your subconscious mind opens up and then you go, whoa, I didn't know that was in there. And when it comes out, you go, whoa, can I say that?
Should I say that?
Right, and that
Did
reminds
I say
me.
that?
Amen.
And that's where surrender comes from. Surrender comes from that place, that song Surrender, because it's like, love is the be-all, end-all. That is our mandate, to love your neighbor as yourself. Vulnerability, right? It is to understand that love covers a multitude, which is also vulnerability again. So in order to live in this world authentically, you have to take off your ego, you have to take off your mask, you have to take off what people think they see and just allow you to come forward. And when you do that, naked in the world, that is scary. But that is a place of such rich gratification. And so you err on the side of, are you scared? Or are you going to get that rich gratification? Are you scared? I vacillate back and forth. And so I practice being me as I discover who me is. And then I show up with as much love and as much humility, as much compassion, and much empathy as I can, because we're all one, we're all connected.
Right.
And so without embodying that, you feel a little weird. It makes me feel weird to be vulnerable, but I'm here now.
So we're going to take another break to be amazing and pay some bills as needed. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
period.
The real. That's the real deal.
It's period.
Right. And all that old money shouldn't go toward this, money should go to. If the child is with one of the parents 24/7, 7 days a week, you don't even come get your child every day. You come get your child once a month maybe, or once every 3 months.
Right.
You cannot dictate where that money goes, especially if the child ain't calling you about nothing. Now, if the child calling you every week, then you can question about where the child support is going. But if every time you pick up the child, they look nice, they ain't complaining about nothing, why are you worrying about where the money go at?
It is what it is. Radio show.
Long live Pop. Y'all can go ahead and cry now. I'ma show these niggas what to do at one of your beats, man. I am Gas, by the way. Strong woman story should have been on CNN. Nobody knows what it's like being Gwen. Windows closed in the house, it ain't no CNN. Can't gain weight for years, she been being thin. Single mother, no help from the system. When they was giving out food stamps, she missed them. Birth certificate, baby daddy, she couldn't list them. But her son was so beautiful when she kissed him. Blame it on love, but nigga she could've died with. Destroyed the whole world and found out she was a side chick. The nigga loved his wife and it got hard to hide it. So when Gwen confronted him, he ain't even denied it. Her fault, depends on who you asking. She tried to be a stripper, but the tip out was taxing. Buying all the purses, trying to keep up with the fashion. And her mama hated babysitting with a passion. She deserved better, better circumstances. A black queen, she should've been blessed with certain chances. Look down upon, getting all the hurting glances. Making men change up all the twerking stances. She never cried about the pain, only gritted her teeth. But most soldiers never get a flower or a wreath. She like G.I. Jane in the war with no relief. Don't recognize why killers was going through her beef. She said more prayers than the nun did. After seeing so much struggles with only one kid, the clinic said baby number 2 couldn't be undid. 9 months later, delivery and it's one big. But this time it was an older dude. But the shit happened so fast, she barely know the dude. Damn, but we all make mistakes though. And the older we get, that's how mistakes go. So he claimed the baby, now with no money. He said shit was hard and his dollars was kind of funny. Real was feeling like that was strike 2. So when it rains and pours, that's just how life do. She was thinking about her childhood and how life flew. Her daddy she always loved, but she never quite knew. This was before the bags and the cellulite grew. Other bitches in her shoe, no telling what they might do. You lose a lot of friends, they start to despite you. Passing judgment when they don't got the right to. And even though I love the gangsters, the same for the gangsters. I remember you no matter how big the fame gets. Paint a perfect picture, baby you can frame this. As long as I'm slapping, you will never be nameless. While I was robbing, you did things that was shameless. Both products of our environment, we was blameless. They deserve better, those women who...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
If I give you all of me, will you take responsibility? All of me is all I have to give. Can you return the love? Are you scared? I willfully give you the best of me. I need all of you too. 50-50 ain't enough. I'm calling your bluff. Are you scared? Surrender all to me. It takes guts to deal this deep, but I surrender today. Somehow, someway, I'm scared.
Got about the rest. So you were explaining surrender to us.
Yeah, surrender is about vulnerability and love.
Mm-hmm.
And love is good and it can have so many beautiful experiences, but the longer you're in love, the more of you comes out, right? So the part of you, so after a while, being in love for so long, a couple years, your representative is no longer in place.
You forgot your representative.
Your representative is completely gone, but each new layer of you is coming to the surface. And so not only are you dealing with the new you that you discovered, but now you have to go, is he going to accept this part of me? Or is she going to rock with this part of me of who I am? Because it takes time for those layers to be uncovered. And each time a layer is uncovered, they're being introduced or you're seeing a new person. And you go, now how do I navigate this person? How do I, who is this right now? And so depending on how it's received, whether it's going to be allowed to develop and mature or it's going to go back in a box.
I like when those questions come as an afterthought after it's already been released and you somewhere in the bathroom like, did that wasn't supposed to happen. Like, what's happening? But you're getting comfortable
Yeah.
And you're allowing yourself to really. I love being a little bit older now because now that representative is there on date number 1 or
Yeah.
date number 1,
Yeah.
opposed to
Yeah.
a couple years down the line.
Yeah.
This is what it is. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
What's your decision?
Right.
Now it feels a lot comfortable.
Yeah.
Versus waiting.
Yeah. And it does, especially when your first intention was authentic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you connect with someone and it's on an authentic plane, then eventually you can kind of you're looking forward to unpeeling the onion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if the intention of the relationship isn't set on solid ground, then you're constantly at the pressure of keeping that representative on point. Mm-hmm. And I believe that when you surrender to love, you're surrendering to yourself. The representative's going to fall off, but then also both parties get a chance to grow and flourish in being allowed to share who they are with these different layers. I've been married for 13 years, and sometimes I look at my husband and I go, now who is this? And then I go, do I like this part? And he might say, do I like her right now? And we laugh about it, but it's another layer of us that's undeveloped because I have my husband, the pastor, my husband, the person who rakes the yard, my cousin who doesn't like, what do you call it? Contracting work, so there's a lot of, and so you would like navigate all these different pieces of this person. You gotta surrender to that and be like, you know what? I'm in it to win it. I just gotta go. Okay, what is it gonna be today? And you just kind of, and I see somebody over there laughing. And you must resonate with exactly what I just said. Yeah, that's surrender. You have to surrender to do that. But saying, admitting that you're scared is powerful because we all are. We just don't admit it. And unless you put something in the light, it can't be addressed.
What's in your playlist right now? Like what's like 5 songs that's in your playlist?
What's in my playlist? Right now, some old school Gene Carn. Just one magic look into your eyes, and I'll feel something deep down inside taking me higher. Yeah, that's Gene Carn. And then some Luther is in my. I like Luther, and some Joe. I like Joe. Because I've been watching Power. I know, because I watch Power, and he's that. I like to watch the intro to Power just to hear him sing, and I might turn it off after that. I love Music Soul Child.
Okay.
So I keep. I keep old not old R&B, but R&B that's lasting, that has meaning. 20 years later, I'm still listening.
That's distinct.
I'm still listening, and it's still powerful. It's still very powerful, still very meaningful. Okay. I still play Music Soul Child beautiful. You're my baby. Oh, so, yeah, I sing all the time. I'm just, that is me and I sing.
What's in your repertoire?
I can't believe some of her choices because they were the same things that my wife and I were listening to on the way in.
Really?
And I played this dead serious. Luther, Music Soul Child.
Yes.
John B. I listen to a lot of John B.
Yeah, I like John B.
I'm Mary J.
Yeah.
Let me see. Number 5 would be, I guess, Jill Scott.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of in my old school, that hip hop R&B, that '90s soul era, that the last of the quote unquote groups. Yes, and definitely the last of the good music. Yeah. 24/7. If it's not an instrumental or it's not us, if it's not Team Maranatha, we have so much music. I listen to a lot of our music as well. It's old school R&B. I love the fact that then we talked about love. Now we talk about lust, and it's a time and place for everything, But I'm a lover, so I love listening to love music.
Me too.
And I'm listening to you, and I am remembering like when Mary first came out and all the controversy that was around them because they were singing music that was Christian, that was fellowship, that was about love and fun but it was masked in these 2 R&B singers. And that's what we all thought they were at first until we actually listened to their music. Right. So do you have that sound in terms of what you talk about? And do you think your audience is reflecting or listening to your music, the bop, or actually listening to the message?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I believe that people who haven't seen us, who haven't had the opportunity to hear us before, the first thing that catches them is the bop. You know,
Okay.
you nodding your head, and then like I said, during the concert, you'll notice somebody will be like, their head will turn up, and then they'll be like, they'll start listening, and you'll see them nudge somebody and be like, did they say Jesus? Or, you know, whatever. So I believe it's the beat that grabs them first, but I believe it's the strength and the content of the music that keeps them. You know? And that's what we want to do. We want to keep them.
Y'all both brought up some really good artists in your playlist. Do you ever think of remaking any of their work or sampling any of their work into yours? I know on the hip hop side that's a given.
Constantly, yeah.
But like remaking some of those great lyrics
Quickly,
or music.
my wife and I remade Mary J. and Method Man.
You're all I need.
Exactly. We've already redone that.
Okay.
And there
So we have another artist in the world.
But there,
I'm about to say, she ain't tell me that. You know, Lord, I'm looking like, really?
yes, my wife sings, but she's an introvert. She's very shy.
Okay.
But my wife can sing, and she sang on
Well, ain't nobody in the room with her.
but she sang on 3 or 4 tracks with us. The thing about me when it comes to remaking music, I love to take popular music
and spin it.
Yeah, thank you for saying it like that, because I was going to say rub it in your face, to be honest with you. We consider ourselves correcting the flaws in their music, because it's popular and it's got everybody, hey, every time you walk outside, a car riding past, you know, you walk in the store, you hear it playing over the loudspeakers or whatever, and it's, people don't even realize they're just killing themselves listening to it. So yeah, we take your beat, we take your lyrics, and we'll spin them.
I remember one of my favorite gospel groups, Trinity 5-7.
Right. Oh,
And speaking of Music Soul Child, they flipped that love song.
Right,
And
to
I'm,
Lord.
and they did that quite a few times throughout their career. That's what you meant by like redoing it and remastering the message.
Yes, because it's so many prickling ears listening to that music, and it's getting trapped into your brain, and it is subconsciously. I know we always try to say that, well, it can't be the music or whatever, but it can be. Do you know how the power, the saying, music soothes the savage beast, or music influenced my mood, or they put my song on, all these types of music has power in it.
It does.
And it's a huge, it's a pusher.
It evokes motion.
Yes.
Emotion.
Yes. And it starts with the beat, but then it ends with the content. And so it's a message behind the music. And what we're trying to do, not trying to do anything, what we are doing is, as you said earlier, we're spinning it, we're flipping it, whereas though, yes, you're going to bop to it, you're going to nod your head to it, you're going to sing. We have a song, Jesus is the Answer, that's really popular, that people love to sing whenever it comes on. We're going to spin it and give you some help in your life, some comfort in your life, some strength to overcome. We're going to make you an overcomer as opposed to just succumbing to, the problems in your life.
And it sounds like both of you have a way of getting us in the flow without beating us over the head. Nobody wants to be preached to. Normally when we're listening to music, we want to feel whatever we're feeling.
Right.
And we don't want to be like so message driven that the melody is gone now.
Right.
Are there any artists that you want to work with? Either of you?
Stephanie Singz.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see that project soon. But any others other than your what you call it, your club
Our
mate?
counterparts.
I guess for me, God Over Money, they're as far as the hip hop gospel industry, they're number one right now.
Okay.
They own the game right now. So I guess any of the artists from God Over Money would be cool to work with.
Okay.
I hadn't really thought about working collaboratively with anyone because I feel like I don't have my footing to see who would be a good fit for collaborating with.
See, but what happened when we said we didn't have the resources?
Yeah, exactly.
Now you
Well, when I say my footing, what I mean is I'm still figuring out what my sound is. Who is Stephanie? Because I can sing and sound like so many different people. I'm just originally starting to realize what my sound is. And once I decide or am settled into that, then I'll know, you know what? It would be good to connect my voice with this.
I hear
or
Michele.
that.
I hear a lot of Michele that, because she talks over her learnings and her vocal cords, and I'm hearing that tone of her singing voice.
Yeah,
when you're
people
singing.
say that all the time. Yeah, but you asked a question about redoing music. I actually did. I redid and flipped Jagged Edge.
Okay. Baltimore's own.
Yeah, I flipped Jagged Edge, and it's getting some good feedback.
Okay, I'm going to listen to that because I'm a Jagged Edge fan.
Yeah.
Let's take another quick commercial break, pay some bills. We'll be right back here for our last segment here only on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere.
Like the one thing you always gotta remember is people gonna try to project their insecurities onto you. But you can't listen to what them niggas saying. You gotta get out here and do your shit regardless. You gonna do what you love for the rest of your life anyway. So why not turn that shit into something? Be a man of everything you say. This shit bigger than me, man. Like yeah, I'm good and all that, but you know what I mean? I ain't shit without y'all. So no matter what you up to, just go hard. Don't let it. Can you imagine how really having nothing is? Stomach growling, you ain't got no food in the fridge. Surviving on a jail diet of water and bread. No father figure, that's cause my father dead. Mom's bringing different niggas in and out the crib. No money, so you seen this less than all your friends. But it a joke because your mother was a crackhead. Older sister hoeing off, giving all the homies head. I could wait for your response, but they love to hear me talk, so I'll just wait for the applause. I always knew that I was great, I got them haters so appalled. I'ma make it out the darkness, and my word is my bond. Delivering these bars while I'm gripping on my balls. Jealous niggas hate to see you succeed, so fuck them all. I'm the master of my destiny, nigga, you not in charge. You either on your grind or in the way, so get lost. Be a man of everything you say you stand for. Lead your people by example, being hands-on. If you're back against the wall, then get your mash on. Fix your vision on the future like it's fast forward. The world is yours in due time, ain't gotta ask for it. I'm from the school of hard knocks, I took a crash course. Shit be stressful, my nigga, that's why I'm getting high. But that's life, and it's the code that I live by. And you know how it is, where we at, nigga. They say money can't buy happiness, but I be happy as a bitch when I can have dinner. Learn from your losses or you end up like the last nigga. I fall off, I bounce back, I really come from the dirt. But if you wanna make it happen, gotta put in the work. The word will kick you when you down, and I know this shit hurt. And it's crazy cause your family, your shit on you first. My sister stabbed me in my chest, I had a hole in my shirt. I never said a prayer for on my way to the hearse. I died twice that night, man, I'm just happy to be here. And shit like that is the reason I never be scared. Was drifting through the smoke in the field, I couldn't see clear. It's deeper than the rap, I'm where the bottom of the sea is. Was trying to make it happen till I happen to ball. It's all mind over matter, the fuck the matter with y'all, huh?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I remember that.
I could go in there all day, but not into a regular market. I'm gonna go crazy.
Oh yeah, I like.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. This is our last segment, and I'll be off, and we'll be off in our own corners of the world again to only meet again. But my last question to you all is: what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self, and what question would you ask your 100-year-old self?
Me first? Okay. Advice I give to my 17-year-old self: be prepared for life, because it's coming. It's coming. There's no way around it. If you're alive, life's coming. So be prepared, for life.
make choices for.
Exactly, for the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then the question that I would ask my 100-year-old self, was it worth it? Was it worth it?
I would ask the advice I would give my 17-year-old self would be to use discernment. Don't be afraid of your own emotional self. Yeah, when you're 17, you do have thoughts and feelings and emotions, and they are valid and on point. But when you let somebody talk you out of it, that's when you create the turmoil of your 20s and 30s until you come back to that. Second guessing. So discernment, use it. You have it, allow it to be used.
We all have that.
Yep.
It's not just for the chosen few.
Exactly. We have it. And the question that I would ask my 100-year-old self would be, wow. Because I want to get to 110. I have 10 more years after that. That's what I keep saying. I give myself 110. My 100-year-old self, I would ask, was it worth it? Was it worth it? Yeah. Because it's too late of asking, could I have done anything different? It's over. But, you know, to have somebody sit back.
Twerk a little bit.
No, me, baby, get my teeth. I got strong for you. Right?
And you, man?
Oh, my 17-year-old self, I would definitely say go for your dreams. Don't let nothing stop you. Don't let anything someone tell you stop you from living your dream.
Or lack of saying something.
Lack of saying something to you as well. Just live your dream. And I would concur at 100 years old, was it really worth it? And I believe saying that would be so you're such a time of 100 years old, you've seen a lot at that point.
Right.
You've experienced a lot.
Yes.
So your assessment would be, was it worth it? And I believe for a person of that age would feel that it was worth. Even with all of the challenges through life, I believe it would still have been worth it.
And it's a question that I ask only because at 17, it was when the veil was lifted and people couldn't lie to me the same way anymore. But I still didn't have that notion. And then I was blessed at 17 to have been raised by a great grandparent. So I had that crazy youthful stupidity and that wisdom that had seen stuff repeat 2 and 3 and 4 times over. So it really, that's the impetus behind that question. So I'm always interested in how people answer, especially when I welcome people back. Where are you now in life? Because the answer normally changes slightly depending on where you are. That's why I never give it an age or a specific point where you are in life. But it opens up based on what you've experienced thereafter. Where can we find you all again? I'm going to let you give that information. And then I'm going to ask these two to do something special for me. And they don't know what it is yet. But,
I think you in my brain, but I'm not going to say nothing.
We didn't plan it.
Nope.
But throw out those social medias again and where we can find your music.
Okay. Team Maranatha, everything. Everything. Instagram, team_Maranatha.
Okay.
I am Steph Singz, Instagram, Stephanie Singz, Facebook. Everything else is I am Steph Singz.
And where's the music? Where can we get music? Or
right now we have the hard copies. Everything should be released on digital and streaming within a week.
Yes.
We're finalizing stuff to get it, and it'll be everywhere. You pick a spot, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, it'll be there.
Okay.
And I'm already there.
Yes.
Spotify, YouTube, Pandora, YouTube, Apple Music, iTunes, wherever you do, Reverb Nation, wherever you download your music, you will find Steph Singz.
There we go.
Absolutely. And you can find a Michele on...
With one L.
With one L. You can find her at Angela Michele on Facebook, Angela Michele on Instagram. And of course, you can reach me through the Baltimore Flavor Gospel page and Worldwide Flavor Network, WWFN online radio on Instagram, Worldwide Flavor on Facebook, and the Hot Topics page, you would have to request to be a member because it is a private group.
Excuse me.
But it's nothing bad. Don't even think like that. It was just my brother wanted it that way. We put that together when we did it.
So I'm going to ask these two if they could create something as we're sitting here and kind of figure out a way to harmonize together and take us out. And before we do, thank you all for tuning in. I'm really grateful to each of you, even the lady over the corner who didn't want to sing. Maybe the next time. Thank you all again. Come on out to the Arena Playhouse this Friday and up until March the 1st. Melba Moore. I'm gonna get on her nerves. She gonna call security on me.
Oh, Lord.
And you'll get to see me on stage. And I'm not saying this may be my last hurrah, but it may just be on this level. So come on out, see Nate singing. I don't know how that's gonna happen, but we're gonna sing and we're gonna dance and we're gonna give those funny lines. Pearly, directed by Troy Burton, Arena Players Inc. And you can get tickets at www.arenaplayersinc.com. Thank you. And we're going to close out with these two awesome voices in the world of music.
You want me to follow you or you going to follow me?
I will do a hook and you can rap over it, okay? Okay. Can you hear? Can you feel? Can you see everything I have shown you? Yeah. Emotions are a secret tongue only for the ears of the awoken. A spoken truth from the root of my mind and depths of my heart.
I ain't messing with y'all no more. Go and pay the cost. Last time I told y'all stop the false.
Can you
come
hear?
home to your family. Come out of the dark.
Can you
come
hear?
home. Come out of the land of the lost.
Can you
Stop
see?
following their ways, their laws and decrees. And know any
Everything.
choice you make should not be received with
Can you
understanding
hear?
or acceptance. If you wrong, you wrong.
Can
and
you
I'm going to
hear?
let you know, youngin', both Aqua Young
Can
and
you
seen the hood.
feel?
Woo!
Can you see?
Do you hear the message?
Can you hear? Can you feel? Can you see everything I have shown you? Emotions are a secret tongue only for the ears of the awoken. A spoken truth from the root of my mind and depths of my heart.
Flames emissary, Bible study all-star, prayer warrior, Jesus lover, chosen high, not just
Can you
called.
hear?
Future prophet once removed,
Can
Elijah,
you hear?
servant of the Most High, Jesus, Messiah.
see?
Yeah, we the best. Listen to the music we
Everything.
bring. Johnny Flames along with Steph Singz.
Can you hear?
And we do this live, so what's up?
Can you hear?
For real, y'all need to stop the bluffing.
Can you feel?
Stop playing. Stop praying.
Can you see?
Start living your life. You hear what I'm
Can you
saying?
hear?
It ain't no doubt about the music we spit. And
Can
we
you
are
hear?
undefeated when it comes to this.
Can
Get
you
'em, Steph.
feel? Can you see?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear? Can you feel? Can you see
Listen up.
everything I have shown you? Emotions are a secret tongue only for the ears of the awoken.
Wake up.
A spoken truth from the root of my mind and depths of my heart.
Okay. Lord, love. Lord, love. Thank you all. We'll be returning next week. Remember, in February, we're only doing our Monday shows because Nate got to sleep at some point in life. So thank you again. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you all for coming by. Be glad to have you back again. Again, you can watch this show after on YouTube, Facebook, and all other digital platforms as well. So thank you again. The Nate Couser. Peace out.